A beautiful Thursday morning to you. Thanks for joining us on Headlines Nigeria. From ITI Studios here in Abuja, I am Grace Ukot with summaries of headlines from our national dailies. Join me as we take a look at the news for today. Next newspaper says, lawmakers spend billions on minor changes in constitution. A whiff of confusion yesterday heralded the announcement of the takeoff of the amended constitution as the Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, who initially said the section which grants financial independence to state houses of assemblies got the required assent, was forced to backpedal few minutes into the news conference. Mr. Ekweremadu said he had cross-checked the facts and discovered that the section could not pass through because only 22 houses supported it instead of the required 26. INEC deploys state commissioners ahead of 2011 elections. The Independent National Electoral Commission has redeployed most state resident electoral commissioners ahead of the 2011 general elections. Abdullahi Kaugama, Secretary of the Commission on Wednesday in Abuja, listed the redeployment of 19 resident electoral commissioners and fresh posting of 18 others. Punch newspaper reports kidnapping, federal government to purchase 98 special vehicles for police. The Federal Executive Council has approved 581.8 million naira for the purchase of 90 units of Peugeot 407 executive extra cars for the Nigerian police force to enable it check to the rising cases of kidnapping and other violent crimes in the country. And in the pages of Nigerian Tribune newspaper, NUPENG calls for sack of PPPRA Boss. The National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas has called on the federal government to probe and sack top officials of the Petroleum and Products Pricing Regulatory Agency over fuel importation approvals granted companies without jetty and depot facilities during the second and third quarters. Power sector report. OBJ, Imoke, Agagu, others recommended for prosecution. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo, Senator Liao Imoke, former Minister of Power and Steel, Alhaji Abdul Hamid Ahmed, former Minister of State for Energy, Dr. Olusegun Agagu, former Minister of Power and Steel, and Mr. Joseph Makoju, former Managing Director of Power Holding Company of Nigeria, are among people recommended to both the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for prosecution. Vanguard newspaper, 5 killed in Fresh Plateau crisis. No fewer than 5 people were killed in the Plateau state capital yesterday in another violence which sparked off by the burial of some of those killed in last weekend's attack on Maza near Jos. Eyewitnesses said emotions ran high after the burial as some angry youths took to the streets attacking people around Angwan Rukuba. The action sparked reprisals in Dutse Uku and Nasarawa Guam areas, resulting in deaths in both areas. Politics news, Vanguard newspaper, 2011, group adopts Mukoro for governor. Ahead of the 2011 general elections, a political pressure group, Delta Orientation Front, has adopted Professor Saliba Mukoro as its gubernatorial candidate in Delta State. Punch newspaper, Senate amends Electoral Act. The Senate on Wednesday passed amendments to Section 10 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, providing for the extension of voter registration to October this year. There have been criticisms against the amendment carried out by the National Assembly on the Electoral Act on the grounds that it will not allow INEC to carry out fresh voter registration. Still in the pages of Punch newspaper, Oshomele seeks review of revenue allocation formula. Edo State Governor Mr. Adams Oshomele has called for a review of the country's revenue sharing formula, saying that only an equitable fiscal policy will ensure a better deal for Nigerians. Nigerian Tribune zoning, North threatens to dump, sue PDP. An elder statesman and member of the Northern Political Forum, Ambassador Yahaya Kwande, has threatened that the North will pull out of the People's Democratic Party if the party jettisons the zoning arrangement. Daily Trust newspaper, zoning intrigues delay North governor's decision. Plots to force a change of course over the power rotation formula influenced the postponement of the Northern Governors Forum meeting earlier scheduled for Kaduna today, during which the governors were to take a common position on the issue. And now in business news, Daily Trust newspaper, CBN, banks to contribute 1.5 trillion naira to AMCON. Nigerian banks and the Central Bank of Nigeria will contribute 1.5 trillion naira to cover any debt that may be incurred by the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria in the next 10 years, the Bankers Committee has said. And in Punch newspaper, disaster looms as Lekki Beach erosion worsens. Erosion on Lekki Beach has continued relentlessly, threatening structures and multi-million naira Jakonde Estate and Chevron Twin Lakes Estate. And sports news, Daily Trust newspaper, Uche Mikel back in Eagles fold. Real Zaragoza striker Ikechukwu Uche and fit again John Mikel Obi of English Premier side Chelsea have been called up by the Nigeria Football Federation for next month's friendly against Korea. Both players missed the 2010 World Cup finals in South Africa due to injury. The duo are recalled along with Belgium-based Joseph Akpala. The 35-man squad, which has been selected by the Super Eagles assistant boss, Austin Eguavoen, features a large number of locally based players. This day newspaper, Garcia Mendez's goal denies Falconets a table-topping performance. A second-half equalizer from Alina Garcia Mendez deprived Nigeria's Falconets of the benefit of a table-topping performance at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup yesterday in Germany and sent the Nigeria side crashing badly towards a head-to-head collision with their nemesis in all the levels of the female game, United States of America. Nigerian Compass, Taiwo set for Madrid switch. Nigeria defender Taye Taiwo is close to completing a switch from French League One outfit Olympique Marseille to Spanish side Atletico Madrid, according to the BBC. Taiwo, who has been hankering on a move away from Marseille in search of first-team football, is expected to finalize the deal very soon. Siasia wants fresh start for Eagles. Super Eagles coach in waiting, Samson Siasia, has suggested that the team begins from the scratch after a disastrous World Cup showing. The Eagles finished bottom of Group B in South Africa, and Siasia, who is expected to be named the new national team new coach, has asked for improvements in the Nigeria Premier League, longer training camps, and the introduction of younger players into the new national team. We hope that Siasia's strategies will work for the good of our national team. And with these stories, we conclude today's edition of the program. Thanks for logging on.